Hello everybody, I'm going to make this another one of those timey-wimey videos, and we'll follow the progress of this beech root over rock fusion project over the year. It's such a heavy tree, it's such a heavy lump of rock in the first place. The pot's heavy, the soil's heavy, the 5 trees are getting bigger now and getting heavy. I'm going to work on it in place rather than move it to the bonsai table. Right, so I've got the camera set up. It's a little bit close to the edge of the pond for my liking, but never mind. As long as I don't do anything too rash, we should be okay. So what I'm trying to do is setting this tree up for the spring, trying to keep as much ramification in close to the trunk as possible, not letting these branches go out too far, whilst at the same time trying to persuade the tree itself to, or the trees to fuse, which they have for the most part completely now, although we have some pug ugly scars where the wires were. I've also managed to finagle this branch under the tree here, between the tree and the rock, in the hopes that that'll help fill in this gap and perhaps finally fuse in and get these trees seated more firmly onto the rock. So really, other than that, it's just a question of chopping things back to a bud where I don't want things. In fact, I'm going to cut that back quite hard. There's a bud there. Beech branches have a tendency to die back, or so I've read, if you don't leave a bud, although they will then sprout from the trunks again. You do risk losing a branch if you don't leave a bud. Also, I've read, can't say I've ever experienced that myself, but if I don't leave a bud, then I probably will. Okay, so we'll come back at this over the year. I'm still tempted with taking this piece out entirely. In fact, I'm going to. There's a large dead piece there anyway. I'm going to have to nibble it back. I am now back into live wood, but I'm going to keep nibbling back further. Yeah. Now that allows this to become the new leader. I think I'm going to take that piece off too. Okay, so shorten this top. Now, because I haven't touched the roots, hopefully the roots will now power a surge of growth from down low. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, it's the 3rd of October. And I've just been letting this tree do its thing, growing fusing, growing lots of weeds. Then probably should have got rid of a lot of these weeds before now, but as I say, I've just fed it and watered it and let it do its own thing. It's struggled through some of the spring weather and it's been affected a bit by aphids and things, and much as I hate to say it, I had to resort to spraying a couple of times on several trees, this one included. I really don't like to unless I have to, but sometimes needs must. So it's definitely fused nicely in there, but it still isn't sitting down nicely onto the rock as much as I would have hoped, but it is getting there. We'll revisit this come winter so that we can well, we'll take off all the leaves and things once they've turned brown and have a good look at the trunk and the roots sitting on this rock. It's the 10th of December and back with this tree. Haven't done much with it over this year. I've just turned it a couple of times because obviously it's got its back to the fence, which hasn't been well, all in all it's not an ideal setup for this tree. I think come spring I'm going to repot it because I've got an awful lot of this weedy growth in the pot I don't like, and I'm going to make a priority for next year is I'm going to build a stand that this can stand on in the garden where it'll get light from both sides equally, or all four sides equally, so I don't have to try and maneuver it all the time because it is darned heavy. First thing I want to do is get rid of some of these leaves so that we can see what we've got. Could take some time, bear with me. Okay, so that's cleared most of the leaves away. I know I've said this before in other videos that you know, your mature beech trees, if you look at them, they will lose their leaves, and it's this immature growth which is what we've got on this tree, because these are all, you know, relatively new young branches that keep their leaves, which is why keeping them chopped back works well when you've got a hedge of beech. Lose my train of thought. What am I trying to say? Oh, when you've got a hedge of beech, you're keeping it trimmed, you're getting lots of new growth, and then you keep the leaves on, having a nice fulsome hedge during the winter as well as the summer. But with a bonsai, if you take the leaves off, it automatically makes your tree look more mature. Okay, so we've had some reasonable growth. The trees are fusing reasonably well. They're still not clutching tightly to the rock as much as I would like. I'm going to remove a couple of pieces that I feel are in the wrong place here, and this being my sort of trunk line. So I'm going to take out this double piece here. Which was sort of going nowhere. I want this to be my leader. I also have a double piece here which I will come back to. I'm going to take out this piece that comes out of the front, Do I want to lose that piece? I want to lose that piece. And I want to lose that piece. That leaves me a bit of a scar there, but pare that back nice and neat. Okay. I'm going to leave the rest of the work on this tree for when I actually do the repotting. This branch that I looped around and under the tree to help fill in this gap where, as you can see, I can actually put my finger still, or the end of this tool, which is a bit disappointing. I'm hoping this will grow up next year now and fill in. Let's see if I can give you a little bit of a closer shot of these roots so you can see what I mean. Okay, so here's the branch looping through and under the trunks where these 5 trunks have now pretty much fused together. There's still a bit of a line there, but they have pretty much fused together. Hopefully this branch will thicken up and fill in this hole, and hopefully as the trees overall thicken they will eventually mould to the rock. But it's almost as though over the last few years, as they thickened, they seem to have kept the same distance away from the rock. I can still put the scissors underneath, which is a bit disappointing after this number of years. I had thought maybe this fusing them would be a shortcut, but I'm learning that there are no shortcuts in life or in bonsai, and it's going to be done the long way. As they say, there is still a gap, and there's still a gap at the back here that I can slide the scissors into, but sooner or later, if the trees stay alive, the rock's not going to shrink, they are going to close up, and at that point I hope it will look natural. We shall see. As I say, I'm going to make a priority to build some kind of stand where this tree can be on its own in the middle of the garden, where it will get light all the way around. And I'm going to repot it in spring, so there'll be a video on that, and hopefully you'll stick around to watch that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. This is my trunk line at the moment. Yeah, I'm not going to do any more work on it today. Let's move you back again. Okay, so here we have it. It has grown well, but it's not cooperating. But stay tuned, and sooner or later we will have something with this, I'm sure. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. It is truly appreciated. Do the YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. But most of all, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe, everybody.